First Lady AC DeSantis.
Aren't you glad to live in a free state? Are you going to turn out this November so we can keep this state free? And yes, by you coming out in full force this November, we will send a message to this man in the White House that we are fighting back against his destructive policies, and Florida will be the vanguard of freedom in this country. We were able to, I didn't have anyone run against me in the primary. I always run hard, but it's much better to run unopposed. Marco didn't, Attorney General Moody. So there wasn't a lot of races for Republicans, but you know what we said? Every race is important, particularly these school board races. So we got involved to help candidates who were fighting the machine, fighting the lockdowners, fighting the force maskers, fighting the people that want to indoctrinate our kids instead of educate our kids. And I'm happy to report to you tonight that because of your energy and enthusiasm, we were able to win school board victories all across the state of Florida. Including our two candidates right here in Miami-Dade, Robert Alonzo and Monica Colucci, who beat a 24-year incumbent. We also were able to flip the Sarasota school board. Even though the union put in like $1 million, our candidates swept to victory. We had big victories in Jacksonville and all across the country because you know what? Parents are sick of the nonsense when it comes to education. We want the schools to educate kids. We are sick of the indoctrination. We want to make sure that they're teaching them the basics, teaching them to read, write, add, subtract, all the important subjects, not trying to jam woke gender ideology down their throat, not trying to do divisive rhetoric like CRT that's teaching kids to hate each other and hate our country. No, we want true education, and parents want to play a role in the schools. We believe in a parent's Bill of Rights. We believe that parents have a fundamental role in the education and upbringing of their kids. And as long as I'm governor, the state of Florida is going to be standing with the parents throughout this state. Florida led the way over the last few years. While so many governors and mayors were trying to lock people down, here in Florida, we lifted people up. We made sure to protect people's freedoms, their jobs, their businesses, and protect their kids' education. And because we did that, we are the citadel of freedom throughout the entire United States. And no place has that been stronger than right here in Miami. And if you think about it, if they had had their way, what would Florida have looked like over these last few years? They opposed every decision I made to lift people up. When we had businesses open, they attacked me. When we were protecting people's jobs, they attacked me. When we had kids in school, they attacked me. When I made sure that people wouldn't lose their job based on whether they wanted to take a COVID shot or not, they attacked me. They wanted people to lose their job. And so, yes, we've seen low unemployment. We've seen economic growth. We see the biggest budget surplus in the history of the state, and we can be proud of that. But just understand, we were very close to going a much different direction. Don't take any of this freedom for granted. You got to fight for it. We need to win across the board in November to make sure that we solidify this state as the nation's citadel of freedom. And I can tell you this, we are going to be running awfully hard all across this state, and we are going to generate the biggest Republican turnout this state has ever seen in a governor's race. And we have no choice, because if we don't do it, what is the alternative? You see all the for violating the law in different parts of the country. These prosecutors that are funded and elected with help from people like George Soros. Well, I can tell you this. We won't tolerate that in Florida. In fact, we had somebody over in Tampa that was a prosecutor, said he didn't have to follow the law. I removed him from office. We're not going to give an inch on public safety. You have a right to have safe streets, and that means we've got to support the men and women of law enforcement. We got to make sure that we do like I did, sign legislation preventing local governments from defunding the police. And we are not going to ever let cities in the state of Florida burn down like they did in Minneapolis, like they do in Portland. In fact, in the state of Florida, if you're rioting, looting, you're engaging in mob violence, don't expect a slap on the wrist. Expect the inside of a jail cell. God bless you. Thank you so much. We are fighting for the soul of this country. When you talk about education, not indoctrination, what does that mean? It means teaching people what it means to be an American, teaching our kids about our Constitution, about the fact that our rights come from God, not from the government, and comparing our system with other systems. That's why I signed legislation. Every November 7th is now going to be dedicated to remembering and educating our students about victims of communist tyranny. I see these Democrats in Miami, they're flying the hammer and sickle out when they're protesting me. Che Guevara, that's what they believe in. And that has no place in our state, because we understand what freedom is all about. So we're going to continue to stand strong for all those. And at the end of the day, we are not going to let this state be overrun by woke ideology. We will fight the woke in the businesses. We will fight the woke in government agencies. We will fight the woke in our schools. We will never, ever surrender to the woke agenda. Florida is the state where woke goes to die. So we've got a lot of work. Don't let anyone tell you it's going to be easy over the next 2.5 months. They're going to throw everything they have at us. Obviously, we're not just running against a political party or candidate. We're also running against national corporate media, who's going to do whatever they can to derail Florida's progress. And yes, we do have Top Gov lessons on battling corporate media. Check it out if you want to see it. And you ain't seen nothing yet on that score. But it's not going to be easy. But you know what? This state is worth fighting for. Our country is worth fighting for. So put on the full armor of God and take a stand against the left schemes. Stand firm for truth. We've accomplished an awful lot in Florida, more than anybody thought was possible when I got elected less than 4 years ago. But we're just getting warmed up. We'll keep walking the line. We're not going to back down, because we are on a mission to keep the state of Florida free. Thank you all.